What's going on, everyone? Jack here from Half Crone, and this drone isn't just fine. This drone is triple fine. Okay, I can't say that with a straight face. This is the Triplefine TF35 Pro, and it's an interesting drone because, yeah, it looks like a drone we've seen before. It looks like the HS600. It looks like the SJRC F22, and that's basically because it kind of is. It's not the exact same drone. There are actually some upgrades and some improvements to this Triplefine version. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this drone. I'm going to tell you the pros. I'm going to tell you the cons, and then you can decide if this is the drone for you. Stay tuned. All right, so let's talk about what we got. This is, of course, a folding drone. Back arms slide out that way. Front arms come down. We have some stabilizing stands in the front. We have a 2-axis gimbal. It doesn't stabilize in the yaw. Now, it does say it stabilizes electronically. We have a nice high-capacity battery. Now, they say up to 40 minutes of flight time. I think you're going to be happy if you get up to 30 minutes of flight time. Now, there are 2 batteries included in the kit, so that's still almost an hour of flying, so just kind of keep that in mind. This up here, this is not obstacle avoidance, that's just decoration. We do have brushless motors, and that's nice. On the bottom, we have an optical flow camera, a couple of LED lights. These are not real sensors, that's just there for decoration. This is a GPS-based drone, which means it helps with stability. It also means you get a handful of intelligent flight modes that we'll talk about in a little bit. Now the camera here, this is a 4K camera on a 2-axis gimbal, stabilized electronically, and it does save images either to an SD card. It has an SD card slot here, or you can save them directly to your phone. I'll talk a little bit about that as well. Now it says full HD Wi-Fi cam, and it does claim to be 4K, but that's going to be upscaled 4K. You're gonna wanna take a look at that video quality. It all comes in this nice carrying case. You get a spot for your extra battery and the remote control as well. Now this remote controller is also an upgrade from the other versions that I mentioned. Now the TF35 Pro has a range of just over 2 miles. Now, this drone was built with the beginner in mind. Now, if you go on Amazon, which is where you can purchase this, it's $398. But there is a $70 coupon bringing the price down. But also, Triplefine sent this drone to me to review for you, and I asked them for a coupon code. So if you're interested in the drone, make sure you clip the coupon code on Amazon, but also there's a coupon code in the description that'll get you an extra 10% off. That's gonna bring the price of this drone right around $300, which I think is where beginners kind of need to go to get a decent drone. Now, is this the drone for you? I'll let you make that decision. I also have some videos on other drones in this price range that I think you should check out, and that also is in the description down below. All right, so back to this drone. What is it that I like? Well, I do like the all-in-one package. You get the case with the extra battery and the nice remote with a screen that gives you some information on it. That remote will also hold your phone, so that's really kind of nice. The drone is pretty well put together. I like that it has brushless motors. I like that it has LEDs, and I like that it has GPS. I do like that it has the 2-axis gimbal, so it is going to stabilize your footage, and that it's recording on an SD card. All that stuff is really good. I also really like the layout of this remote controller. It's very much in the style of the DJI remote, where your phone goes up top. It's going to connect right here with this plug. They give you one for an iPhone, a USB-C, and a micro. We have well laid out buttons on the drone, a couple of dials, one for zoom, one for gimbal tilt. And overall, this is a nice, solid, good feel on a remote control. Well designed, definitely an upgrade over the Holy Stone version that I had and the SJRC version. I like that this thing also has remote ID. Now, a lot of people don't like remote ID, but you know what? That's the law, and at some point they're going to start enforcing it. So if you're going to buy a drone, it should have remote ID built into it, and this does. You don't have to add a module. You're fully compliant. It is over 250 grams, so that's a rule, and this guy's following it. If that's not your jam, well, this isn't the drone for you. All right, so let's talk about some of the cons with this drone, and it's going to start right here with the camera. It's a 2-axis gimbal, not a 3-axis gimbal, but 3-axis gimbals are a little bit more expensive, so you have to keep that in mind. I'm not sold on the picture quality. It is fine, it's good, but it's not 4K. So just because something says it's 4K or 6K or 8K doesn't make it better than something that's just full HD. I think this is 720p upscaled to 4K, so there's that. This does have some horizon tilt in the camera. It gets better if you land it and recalibrate the gyro. It gets worse on windy days. The flight characteristics on this drone didn't impress me. It kind of takes a while for this thing to come to a stop. It's a little floaty. That's kind of how I would describe it. It's not crisp. So you kind of have to plan your stops ahead of time or you might get into some trouble. It also descends incredibly slow, slower than I'd like even in sport mode. Now there are 3 modes. Make sure that you kind of check that out, but cinematic mode or camera mode flies slow, normal mode flies normal, and then sport mode kicks this thing up into another gear. There are a couple of different follow me modes. I found the GPS follow to be the better of the two. I had some issues with the visual following, but that's pretty common on a lot of drones in this price range. But the GPS follow, you can get it up in the air, but you don't have full control of the drone. You kind of have to take it out of the flight mode to kind of do all of the things you want. So when you're using the follow me mode, make sure you set it up exactly the way you want it. Point of interest, not super intuitive. Take some time to kind of figure that out. But things like the rock and the droney, those work well. So is this Triplefine 35F the drone for you? Well, I don't know. It's not my favorite. I think now that it's right around $300, that puts it in the conversation, but I still think there are some pretty solid options out there that you need to look at as well, including the Mini 2 SE, the Fimi Mini, the Potenzic Mini, the C-Fly Mini. Those are all options. They're under 250 grams that will compete with this guy in terms of quality. If you are interested in this drone, I highly suggest you check the description down below where you can pick up that code to save an extra 10% and make sure you clip that coupon on Amazon so you can save another 70. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Good luck everyone and happy flying.